Good afternoon. Today I'm working on my 2011 Crown Victoria. What I'll be doing is replacing this. It's the temperature blend door actuator. This piece basically goes in somewhere in the dash behind the radio. So what I'm going to have to do is take out my airbag, my glove box, this part, and basically pull the dash back and take out the duct behind the airbag in order to reach it. So I think the first thing I'm going to have to do is to take off to disconnect the battery before I go messing with this too much. But anyways, I'm going to disconnect the battery and then we'll get started. There we go. I've got this part off. Yeah, these two connectors, you just kind of pinch them on the sides and they come out. This one here is a little trickier. I had to basically press. There's a little hole there. I had to press in with a nail to get that one out. I've got the two screws for my glove box out, so what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and see if I can take this off. I think it just comes out like this, like that, and it's out. So I guess the next thing to do would be to take this out and my airbag, and these are all 7mm screws here, so it's the same tool. Actually, it looks like it's 7mm right across, so I could just take the whole thing apart. So anyways, I'm going to do that, and then the next thing will be to take this off. And I think this should just, actually I could probably pry this up with my fingers too. Actually, I'm going to just do this now. Ouch. There, I think that just pries up like that. So I'm going to go ahead, take this thing off, and then the airbag out, and this vent door. See how that goes. There, I got the screws out for the airbag and for this. I also pulled this thing up. The bottom edge here is kind of sharp, so if you're using your thumb to lift up on it, try not to slide it. But anyways, it looks like there's a 7mm screw here. And then I can see another one, I think about here. I should have another one over there. But anyways, I'll leave that until I can figure out how to take the airbag out. I tried pulling up on the airbag, but it still seems pretty stuck in there. I don't want to go do too much prying on that until I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of concerned because if I reach around behind it, it feels kind of hot. I'm not sure why it would do that, but anyways, I'll figure out how to get this thing out and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm underneath the glove box normally goes, and I guess there's a couple 8mm bolts that hold the airbag on, in addition to the 7mm on the front. There's one here, and then over here, I think there's another one. I think just in there, I'm not sure if you see it or not, but yeah, there's another one in there somewhere. Anyways, I'll get there. The airbag basically comes straight back and out. But I guess the next thing to do would be to deal with the connector. The connector should be the wiring harness for it, which is kind of underneath here somewhere. So this is kind of a heavy thing. I don't want to have it dangling off the wire, so I want to be a little careful here. But anyways, it's kind of mostly out, I think, here. So I'm going to just kind of reach in underneath and see if I can figure out how to get that wire off of this. That'll be my next step. There, the airbag is out. In order to get this connector apart, you got to pry up on this little tab right here with a screwdriver or a nail or something like that. And then the other, let's see, yeah, this one here then just comes right out. But anyways, now that I've gotten that out, I'm trying to look in here to see where the blend door actuator is. I thought it was up in that corner there, but I'm not seeing anything there. I think it must be straight behind this duct and in. I don't know if I can see it from underneath. No, probably not. Somewhere in there. So you got to remove that duct. I think most of the time that from the other videos, I kind of undo the screws on the end and wiggle them out. And then after that, they end up pulling the dash back to get to the actuator itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get this pulled out to make getting this piece out easier. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is yank this out. Oh, there it comes. Nothing broke. I guess it's got a clip on the bottom and the top. Actually, it looks like it's got you can see one there, and then it's got the one screw to hold that in. So that's going in the back seat. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get this stuff off, get to this bolt, and I can start removing these ones on the top to pull this thing back. That'll be my next step once I get some of the stuff cleaned up here. There, I've taken off the the two screws that hold this duct to the dash. They were just accessible, so I popped them off. Yeah, as you can see, there's not a lot of room for this to slide back and forth. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, there's not a lot of space here, so I think I'm going to, not a lot of room in there unless I go breaking this. I don't want to do that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I've seen some of the other videos for this, and I think this should just pop off with a screwdriver. I'm kind of hesitant to do that because I don't really like breaking these things. But maybe I'll just keep prying until this pops off. There we go. I think it's coming out. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to be attached on this side here, so maybe I'll pry from that side and see if that comes out. But yeah, I don't want to go breaking this. I have enough old cars where I've broken all the plastic bits and it looks like crap. So I'm going to take this off and see if I can get this other piece pried off. There, I managed to take off the sill piece without breaking it. Let's see if I can get my trouble light in here. But yeah, you can sort of see the holes kind of on the outside where it attaches. So you just kind of pry up and that pops off pretty easily. Yeah, then you just pull up the weather stripping here, get that out of the way, and then this piece just pulls right back towards you. And then there's a 10 millimeter, let's see if I can get underneath here. Yeah, there's a 10 millimeter nut right here. You take that off. And then I've taken off my I took this piece off the top, the little trim. All right, I got that nut off, but this thing, I still can't move this back very far, and I don't want to pry on it too much because I don't want to go bending or wrecking anything. I've noticed that, well, this is the 2011 Crown Vic, and there's another, let's see if you can see it. There's another bracket held on by two 13 millimeter nuts and then two 13 millimeter bolts. It's down there. I took that out. And then here's this is a 15 millimeter. I've loosened that. But from what I understand is there's another one behind my headlight switch. So I'm going to have to do is remove the panel under the steering wheel, remove this crash plate, and then I should have a kind of a clear view of it inside there. So I guess that's the next thing I'm going to have to do and see how this goes. There, I don't know if I really needed to remove this panel, but anyways, it's off. It's got two connectors. This black one just, I don't know what it's for. It just cooked into here, but the blue one is for the turning off the traction control. Anyways, if you look in here, let's see if I can do this close. This this kind of applies to all these connectors. But yeah, if you just push on the top here with the screwdriver, it releases these, because you got to push in this little tab here, and then these pop right out. Otherwise, you're kind of trying to pry it out. I know a couple times I've just kind of pushed on the hole with a nail or something and popped these out. But anyways, yeah, if you can just get your screwdriver, let's see, right in there, these come out very quickly, just like that. Yeah, kind of a helpful thing to remember. There we go. I got the panel underneath here removed along with this kick plate. Let's see, to get the plastic part off, you need to take a 7mm screw out from your parking brake release button, and that comes out. Then this thing basically comes forward, and there's a plastic clip on this side that holds that end in, and that comes out. And then your kick plate, which is now in the back seat, it's attached using, I think there's 5 of these, I guess they're 7mm bolts, or no, 8mm, I think. Yeah, 8mm. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And then, if you look over here, I don't know if I can see it, but yeah, you can sort of see right in there. There should be the last bolt. I think that's a 15mm that kind of holds the instrument panel on, or the panel here on, and then I should be able to get this out. I don't know if I can see that, but anyways, then the other thing is, yeah, there's I might have to take this off too, because I think this kind of connects to the firewall. There's a weird bar there. Looks like there's 4 bolts attaching the bottom of the steering column to the dash. So what I might do is just undo this first one. After I undo that, there you can see it right there. Actually, I see it now. You undo that one, and then I'm going to see if this moves. We'll see how it goes from there. The other thing is, yeah, this side, this stuff comes off just like the passenger side. But to get this thing out, you have to kind of pop out this little grommet that goes behind here. You pop that out of the little plastic. You just basically push it in, and then that plastic piece comes out. Anyways, have fun. Okay, I'd loosened that nut under the dash and basically undid that nut and dropped that bar out of the way. Then I was able to pull back on my dash and get it free. It's now sitting on a jack stand. Anyways, there's the dreaded blender actuator. You can see it in there. You can see the 2 bolts in the front. There's a lot of there's a thick layer of insulation there. I can't even get my hand to the back screws. But what I'm going to do is undo the clip and see if I can get these first 2 out. And then I might have to cut some of that insulation away to see if I can get inside there to get access to the back ones. Otherwise, like I think what a lot of people do is they end up kind of prying up on this and just breaking off the tabs to get this thing out, and then they slot the new one to get it back in. But I'm hoping to get the screws out and do it like that. But let's see how it goes. Maybe I won't be able to do it. Yeah, once the dash is out, this duct here, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Yeah, this comes out fairly easily once this is pulled back. I didn't have to break anything on it. You do have to cut the tape holding the wire to that little bit right there. So other than that, it's lots of fun and games, and I'm seeing why I put this job off for over a year. There, I got the first 2 screws out, as you can see there. If I get my finger out of the way. Yeah, but the ones in behind there, yeah, I don't think I'll have any luck. I'm gonna have to probably try cutting away the insulation to get to it. One thing that helped with this was to use I've got this set of low profile sockets and driver. You see it's a little different. Anyways, yeah, something like this helps. It's not quite as high. Also, for the one in the back, or the one to the side that's kind of behind the dash, I was able to go through the top, through this hole right here, using a couple extensions and get on that. Probably don't want to drop anything behind there, because you can sort of see an opening into the climate or the heater box. You don't want to be dropping anything in there. So anyways, I'm going to get a knife and see if I can cut away some of this insulation and see if I get access that way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do what everyone else does and basically pry this thing off and break the back tabs, and hopefully don't break the heater box. There, I got an egg carton and sorted all my screws. I've also been trying to hack at this insulation, but yeah, that's not exactly easy. This is pretty thick stuff, so, and I also have to kind of get past the blend door actuator to really cut at it to be able to pull it away from this so I can get access. So I think I might have to go to plan C, I guess I'm at now. Yeah, if you look here, there's your heater core there. So what I'm thinking is what I could do is see if I can just pull the whole assembly back, and then I should have access to the top. So I've been kind of looking through the Haynes manual instructions for doing a heater core replacement. So what I think I'm going to do is to undo the last 3 bolts under my steering column, lower that down, and then see if I can pull this dash out a little more, and then see if I can start taking that heater box out. Because if you look, let's see if I can see it. Yeah, you can see one of the bolts for it pretty much straight back in there. And then I saw another one under the hood. So take a look at the Haynes manual and see where the other bolts are, and see if I can start pulling that thing out and see how it goes. There, more plastic bits off. Before you remove the last 4 nuts, or last 3 nuts, and lower your steering column, let's see if I can get in here. I'll be sure to take out this, it's a 732 screw that attaches your shifter indicator on the dash. Now the Haynes manual says it's a shift cable, but they don't really say it's this one. Here's your other shift cable that goes to the transmission, and I don't think this has to be disconnected, but yeah, you might want to take this screw out and disconnect this, otherwise you're going to break this thing off like I did mine. I think it still goes into place here, so anyways, yeah, we'll remove this and then I'll lower my column and then see if I can pull the dash back further. There, I'm not sure how this little clip comes off. I messed around with it for a little while and couldn't get it out, so I put the screw back in and then just kind of screwed the little wheel back off until I could get this thing pulled out. So anyways, this should give me enough play that I can hopefully drop my steering column and then see if I can pull the dash out further. I might have to kind of loosen the conduit on the passenger side so I can get it back further, then we can proceed with lowering that heater box. All right, got the steering column dropped, the dash pulled further back, and I was in the process of trying to remove this box, or at least slide it back. I got there's 2 bolts. I guess it's held in by 3 bolts or 3 nuts. There's 2 down here. They're 10 millimeter. But there's one up here, and it is, I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, or maybe you can, but it is right behind my blend door actuator. Oh, there we go. I think you see it right there. It's right behind the blend door actuator, and it's such an angle that you can't quite get a socket on it. In fact, I have a socket that fell down in behind there. So I don't know what we ever did to Ford to piss them off, why they would be so mean to us, but they're pretty mean. So I'm back to, I think it's plan B, where it's to remove the insulation. So anyways, this insulation is held in by I think it's mostly these clips for holding the conduit in. So I pulled the first two off, and yeah, it's getting pretty loose. I think if I work my way down there, and I can see another one. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, I see another one there, and I think if I pull that one out, oh boy, yeah, maybe if I pull that one out, I'll have enough flexibility to pull this whole thing out. Let's see how this goes. I'll have more bad news in a bit. There, I've got some more of the insulation removed. Yeah, I saw one of the other videos on how to replace the heater core. One of the things they do in order to get the heater box out is to remove the blend door to get access to the back bolt. So yeah, that's not going to work. Anyways, I got the insulation out, and I was able to get in there with my other ratchet, the short one, and get it loose. So I'll see if I can get it the rest of the way and maybe get onto it with a ratchety wrench. But yeah, the thing's loose now. One thing I did notice is I only have one screw in the back here. This one back one here in the corner isn't in there, so I don't know if this has ever been replaced. I don't think so, because otherwise my insulation would be all chewed up. But I don't think Ford bothered to put in the last one. I think they only held it in by 3, so I think I'll just be using 3. Okay, before I go, okay, I got my new one in. I didn't put it in yet. I just plugged it in, and then I turned the key on and everything. I'm just gonna double check to make sure that this actually works by turning on the vent. And look at that, it's moving. Let's go cold. Oh, look at that. I think this is gonna work. All right. Better shut everything off and put it back together. There, it's all back together, and I've got ice cold air conditioning again, blowing out of my vents. I was a little concerned when I got it together and tried taking the gear out, because I guess you can't take it out of park until you get the battery connected. So yeah, don't let that scare you. One of the difficult parts was reconnecting the wire here, or the little for the indicator. I kind of had to get a tie, like a little wire tie, and slip it through the that little wheel and then pull it through. I got everything back together except for that bracket underneath here, where you've got the 2 bolts under the carpet. I only put the one in because I couldn't find that other one. Otherwise, the interior went back together pretty well. It doesn't look too molested. It's a good idea to put these on nice and early, because otherwise that's sitting on that seam trying to work under the dash is a real pain. But yeah, I'm going to take this for a test drive, make sure everything runs all right, and call it a success.